Hello and thank you for joining us at Easy Cooking. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe to our channel, like it, and share it with your friends and family. Today Lilia is with us to help us make a very delicious Bulgarian version of elephant ears. I am going to modify it a little bit when I make it. Usually it's just fried dough. I am going to stuff it with some pie filling and we'll see how that goes. So it's a little modified, but I will make a couple of the original ones and then we'll make some stuffed ones and we'll see how everything turns out. Before we continue with the process, let's see what ingredients we need.
Flour, yeast, salt, sugar, warm water, vanilla,
Pie filling.
boo.
Now that we know what we need, we can get started. Lily, you want to say hi to everyone?
Hi.
Thank you, baby. Okay, Lily, why don't you get started with putting the hot water inside the glass bowl. Awesome sauce. I'll take that for you. Put it over here. Next, we're going to put the sugar. Go ahead, baby. Awesome.
Did you hear how it just turned into that kind of color?
What color? Oh, with the sugar?
Mm-hmm.
Next, you know what? Before we continue with that, let me do this. Here's that. Stir the water and the sugar a little bit. Now, I know this channel is easy cooking, but every once in a while we're going to do recipes that take a little longer, but they're still very easy. So don't be discouraged just because you have to let your dough rise and do it a little bit ahead of time. Now that we've done that, we're going to put the yeast in there. Just go ahead and drop it. Yep.
So do we mix it again?
Yep. Go ahead and mix it a little. Good job, Lily. You can leave the spoon in there. Okay. We're going to let it sit for a minute. It only needs a few minutes, well, 5 minutes or so at the least. Then we're going to take our flour. Lily, you want to put the salt in there? Awesome sauce.
Can I stir it?
Go ahead and stir it. Very
this
gently.
is heavy.
Yeah. You can mix the salt and the flour together. Good job, babe. And then stir it a little more, since it's so heavy, or no? Good poking. I like that technique. Okay. The vanilla we'll put at the end.
How did it turn
Our
that
yeast
way?
has activated. You can tell because it's bubbling, and we can get going here with everything else. It took about 5 minutes or
Can I
so.
put some in?
Okay, Daddy's gonna put the flour in here, Lily, and then you can actually stir it with a spoon, and then Daddy will finish stirring after that. Okay. Okay, give it a good stir, Lily, and then Daddy will finish up.
Are we gonna make dough?
We're gonna make the dough. So we're gonna prepare the dough. Actually, we're not ready to make the elephant ears. We're gonna make them tomorrow morning for breakfast. But the dough you need to prepare the night before. That's the way it goes. That's the way people have been doing it in my country for quite some time when I make this particular recipe. So we're gonna follow it to the T. So we're gonna mix it. And then we're gonna put it actually in the fridge to sit overnight. And when we get up tomorrow morning, hopefully our dough will be twice the size. The dough is turning perfect consistency. It's supposed to be sticky, so don't be alarmed. And just so you guys know, I'm only making half the recipe because I'm only feeding myself and of course my wife and our two girls. So we don't need too much. We don't really want too much left over. So this really is only half the recipe. 2 cups of flour. I will put the full recipe in description under the video. And you can decide whether you want to make the full recipe or just a half a recipe. But this dough is supposed to double in size, and this will be enough for all 4 of us. Because my girls don't really eat that much to begin with. They're only 6 and 2. And my wife and I can only eat that much. Okay. So, this is ready.
Daddy, why does it look wet?
Almost. There's a little bit of yeast over here that needs to be mixed.
Why does it look wet?
Because it's supposed to be this way.
Looks a bunch of squishy.
We're gonna get some foil. And before we cover it with the foil, oh, you know what? We forgot our vanilla. Let's mix that in there real quick.
Daddy, can I see the brown?
Yep.
Wow. Is it all gonna turn brown?
Nah, Daddy will mix it in. The vanilla doesn't really turn anything brown, honey. We almost forgot our vanilla. Every once in a while, even I forget an ingredient, which happens.
What's Daddy doing?
I can't say that it never happens. Okay. So the dough is going to be very sticky. Tomorrow we are going to handle it with greasy hands. Actually, you know what? I need to put a little more flour in here. Let's put a couple more spoonfuls of flour. It's just a little too runny. Let's see how that turns out. It's supposed to be sticky, but it's not supposed to be too runny, so let's see how this is. Okay, this should be good. I don't think we're gonna need any more flour. Okay, we're good. Yep, perfect. Let me mix it a little more. Okay. Now we're good. We're gonna spray our foil with cooking spray. We're gonna cover it. Now we're gonna stick it in the fridge. Tomorrow morning when we wake up, our dough should be twice the size. That's it. I'll see you tomorrow morning and hope. Good morning. This is the second part of our video. We're getting ready for breakfast and we're gonna start making our elephant ears. Again, I'll make some that are the traditional way and I'll make some stuffed that I want to try out to see how it goes. So let's get started and see what we have in the fridge. We put our dough in the fridge last night. That way we're not waiting for it for 2-3 hours this morning because by then it will be lunchtime. Oh boy.
Wow.
Yep.
Daddy.
This is exactly what we wanted to happen.
Daddy.
It's gonna be sticky. So because the dough is gonna be very sticky, we have a little bowl of oil here. It's just vegetable or olive oil. It doesn't matter. You're gonna grease up your fingers. And I have some pie filling. I chose blackberry pie filling today because that's what I had in the pantry. But you can really do whatever pie filling you feel like. Before we start, we're getting our oil warmed up on medium temperature. You don't want it to get too hot because you want your dough to get cooked. You don't want it gooey and raw. We'll give it another minute or two. I just turned it on not too long ago. It should be a decent heat in a minute, and if it gets a little too hot, I'll turn it down. But we don't want to put our first elephant ear in there before your oil gets warm because then it will just soak that oil if the oil is too cold. You don't want a greasy elephant ear either. In the back, we're going to have a plate for them with some paper towel, which I forgot to put, but not a big deal. We want to soak that oil a little bit from your elephant ears. A good way to tell when your elephant ear is, a good way to tell when your oil is ready is to take a little bit of this and throw it in here. And it's not quite bubbling, so oil is not ready. We'll give it another minute and then we'll get started. We're good to get going, so let's just get our first blob of flour. It's very sticky, Natalie. We're gonna stretch it.
Can the first one be with none?
Yep, we're gonna do the first one regular.
Like fried dough balls.
Yep. And again, we made only half the recipe, so I'm not sure how many I'm gonna get out of this, but it will be good. The dough is very sticky.
It looks like an elephant.
Yeah.
Here. Is that why it's
Put
called
this one in. We're gonna make one more regular, and then we'll make a couple that are stuffed.
Yeah. Mama, can you do the second one?
I'm making them a little smaller than normal. Of course, you can make them as big as you want. The key is to have some patience stretching it, because it does break apart a little easy. There's another one.
Why is it? The dough gets made into a frog.
They're turning out just right.
Cooking.
The oil is a little too warm, so turn it down a little bit. I want to make sure they're cooked. Okay. You want this golden color on top. You don't want to make them too burnt. But my oil was a little too hot at first, so I'll leave them for a minute to finish cooking. Yep, while we're waiting for those two to finish cooking, we're gonna make one that we're gonna put some pie filling in. Of course, while trying to make sure the other ones don't burn. So I guess this is kind of like a donut, elephant ear, I mean, you name it. This is how you make it nice and easy. You don't have to squirt it through a funnel to make it like a real elephant ear. Let's put a little bit of pie filling. After all, our channel is easy cooking, so I'm not gonna cut Ziploc baggies and squirt it to make it look like little funnels. We're gonna close this.
Almost looks like a little pie.
Yep, I'm going to drop it in here. We're gonna get the other two out at this point of time, I think. You know what,
Daddy, it looks delicious.
I'll flip them, give them another minute. I want to make sure the first two are cooked all the way through. And while this is happening, we're going to work on another one with pie filling. Honestly, I wasn't sure how the pie filling was going to turn out, but I think it's going to turn out fantastic. It's my first time trying it. I just wanted to try something different. And I think it's going to be just great. We're all excited to try them. I'll let you know how it is when actually I try them, of course.
Do not dare. One.
Okay, this one is going to be a little bigger.
Now, stop.
Let's put some extra pie filling in it. As you can tell, we like to spoil ourselves when we eat, even at breakfast time.
I'm worried Nelly will hit me. Put it down.
Let's take this over there.
Yeah, I'm not playing it.
Let's get the first two out, then we'll put our third one. Whoa, these are nice.
Oh, yay!
These are turning out very nice. we're good to try them. They look so good. I mean, I just want you to see the nice goodness. Let me open this one up. I sliced this one so you can see it. It's real nice and gooey on the inside with the filling. Let's see how it tastes.
Hi, Mama.
Oh my god. It's pretty much like Jell-O or jelly stuffed donut. It's so good. Mmm. Really, give it a try.
Let's try this one.
Yep. Now let's try this one. Oh, it's so crispy on the outside, by the way. It's nice and soft on the inside.
Mama,
I want you to see it. It's really good. I mean, it breaks so easily. And again, it's super crispy on the outside. It goes really well with honey. If you want some jelly, powdered sugar. Natalie, you want to try a bite?
Daddy, I like this
Thank you,
one.
baby.
Can I try that one now?
Oh, this is so good, even with that, with nothing on it.
Mmm.
Mm-hmm.
I just like brown sauce.
It tastes like bonnet sauce. It doesn't have feta cheese, but we can have some feta cheese with it if you want. Natalie, some more? These are awesome. You guys. This one is pretty much like a donut. My brand new invention. Never made that one before. I've always made the plain ones. But they're so good. I mean, just look at this. It opens up. It's so nice. I don't usually do that when I'm eating them, but I want to show you. It's so nice. It's so soft. The crispiness is amazing. And it goes with anything. You guys, if you like the videos, let me know by subscribing and liking them. And I'll see you next time.